Fantastic. Now that we've talked a little bit about us and what we're going to talk about, let's talk about you. And let's kind of set where it is that we're aiming this. And what we're looking for is really, new Python developers that are looking to take that next step. So if you checked out our Introduction to Programming with Python, which is a 2-day event, lots of great content, and you may even get a toaster.
That's right.
Yeah, you'll have to check that out to find that out. But if you followed along with that, this is really designed to be the next step from there. And then also burgeoning web developers. So if you're just kind of trying to check things out. But I would also mention that if you've done web forms, if you've done MVC, and you're really just trying to see how things are in other environments.
Yeah, because you do hear a lot about Python these days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe you've been developing in .NET for web, and you're curious to just explore Python web development.
Yep.
This will be a reasonable course to take you down that path as well. You may be familiar with some of the concepts, because as we mentioned earlier, concepts tend to be the same from language to language, but we will show you things like the routing and so on for Flask and Python and that sort of architecture.
Absolutely. And I would say, kind of going back to a point that you had made earlier about, programming languages having a lot of similar concepts, is that if you've already done C# or VB, a lot of what we're going to be seeing in Python is going to be relatively similar to what you've seen before, and so you'd probably be able to still follow along just fine, even if you haven't necessarily done Python. So if you've done another programming language, you can definitely check that out.
All right.
Or check this out. Last little thing is, of course, you can go off and get your 50 points. I still, I say this every single time. I do need to update that because it's actually now 2.5 million registered users.
Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's your little voucher code. And I would also mention that it's on the FAQ page as well, which is where you're also going to find our slides. Now, before we launch into Module 1, I do need to mention one last thing. And this is actually brand new. This is the first live MVA Jumpstart that's going to have closed captioning. Right now it's closed captioning for English, but we do have closed captioning that you should notice on the video stream, and I'm not sure which side of the stream
I'm seeing comments about the closed caption, so it must be coming up.
There's a button like right about there somewhere. I think it's either on this side or it's on that side. I don't know which side of the stream I actually end up on.
We don't see the closed caption.
Yeah, we don't see us. But in any event, you will notice there's a little spot right down there that will say captions, and then you can turn that on or turn that off and actually see live closed captioning, which again, this is the first MVA Jumpstart doing that, which I think is
cool.
Is pretty slick. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay. What do you say we talk about Flask?
Yeah, I think that's enough intro. Let's get into the meat of this.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and introduce Flask. He said in English. So what we want to start off with is really just kind of some level setting here. So what is a web application? Kind of start there. And then what is Flask? Why did we go with Flask? And how do we actually get started and do that, as we've learned before, that hello world application?
Yes.
And then we're going to close it all off with a primer on HTML. And the main goal with the HTML primer is just to make sure that if you follow along with course 1 and maybe you haven't done HTML, that you're now going to see enough to know what's coming with HTML and how HTML works. Cool. Oh, wow. Actually, I've just been updated. The closed captions are available in 12 languages.
Wow.
The live ones? Wow. I thought they were just English. Huh. Fantastic.
That is extremely cool.
Wow, that's awesome. Cool. All righty. So with that...
Now I'm really curious how they translated my hello, good evening in Italian got translated.
Yeah. Maybe they translated that back to English.
Maybe they did.
Okay. In any event, yes, you can expect corny jokes throughout the day. Let's go ahead and talk about what a web application is. And so I pulled this from Wikipedia because, of course, when you're trying to figure something out, where do you go?
You go ask the internet.
Yeah, and that will invariably lead you to Wikipedia. So it's a web application, a web application or web app is any software that runs in a web browser. It is created in a browser-supported programming language, such as the combination of JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and relies on a web browser to render the application. That clarifies everything. I think.
It clears everything up for me, absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't you love it when you get a definition like that? And you're like, we're going to teach you Python and Flask, and there's a description that doesn't use either of those words. But don't worry, it will all make sense.
We are going to bring it all together.
Let's translate that into English.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're going to really wind up having with any web application is two main moving parts, that we're going to have a client and we're going to have a server. Now, the server, and I always like that restaurant analogy when we're talking about client and server, that when I walk into a restaurant and I sit down at the table, I'm now a client, I'm going to make requests of a server. The server, or waiter, waitress, whatever term it is that you want to use there, is then going to take my order, run back into the kitchen, have somebody cook it for me, and then bring that food back out to me.
Okay.
And so that really is that client server. So I'm the one making the requests, I'm looking for whatever it is, and the server is going to go off and do something behind the scenes. And so in our little case with our trivia app, it's going to be that we're looking to create a brand new trivia question or ask a trivia question. But we could go further into maybe looking up restaurant reviews, maybe posting different updates on fill in your favorite social network here, etc. All of those different things are web applications. And again, they have those two same moving parts, that there's a server and there's a client. Now, we're going to focus mostly in on the server side today, and you are going to notice that there's a lot of different technologies that we can use to create the server side of a web application. That we could use MVC, we could use PHP, we could use Node, or of course we could use Python and Flask, which is what we're here to talk about.
Right.
I didn't really bother putting that up on the slide.
Yeah. But so Python Flask falls into that server category.
Exactly, yeah. That we'll go with, there we go, Python and Flask.
That's really important, because the client side is really important to realize. When you open up something like Internet Explorer, which is where we go to do our client stuff, Internet Explorer doesn't understand Python.
Right, exactly. And so you'll notice that regardless of what that server-side technology is, it's still going to work with your browser. And the reason for that is because what you're going to send out the door is markup in other languages that the browser can understand. So every browser is going to understand HTML. Every browser is going to understand JavaScript. Every browser is going to understand CSS. And this is a big question that I get from a lot of people who are brand new into web development, is they'll go, oh, okay, well, I'm going to do, let's say, MVC. So Microsoft MVC. I'm going to do MVC. Well, wait a minute. Does that mean that's only going to work with Internet Explorer? And the answer is no, because you're going to always send down HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which are things that every single browser is going to be able to understand. So the app that we're going to build today with Python and Flask is going to work in IE, it's going to work in Chrome, it's going to work in Firefox, it's going to work in Opera, it's going to work in
whatever browser gets invented next.
Exactly.
The key thing is whatever server technology you use, and we're going to be coding in Python Flask as our server, the code it finally sends out to the person sitting at the browser is always going to be HTML, CSS. Now, a lot of that's done for you. You don't have to sit there going, oh my gosh, do I have to write every little thing myself? So we're going to be focusing on Python Flask, though. If you're going to get into more advanced web development, you probably will want to learn some HTML, CSS, JavaScript. That's a good next step for you if you're new to web development.
Absolutely.
But we're going to get you started with minimal HTML. We're going to do a little bit of HTML, but just with the Python that you know how to use, we're going to be able to get some websites built.
Yep, exactly. Now, the last thing to point out here is that there might be other components behind the scenes. Because let's think about, an e-commerce site. And so I go into that e-commerce site and I say, hey, I want to place an order.
So these are websites where I go and order books and things online.
Exactly. So there's going to be a lot of other components, because after all, when I go in and I say, well, I want that book, they need to send a signal out to the warehouse. They need to send a signal out to the shipper who's actually going to get it to my house. So there might be a lot of other things that are going on behind the scenes. And I was just kind of like to point that out, that it might not just be your little app, that you might be incorporating services from elsewhere and bringing all of that in. Cool. Well then, what's Flask?
Yeah, how does Flask fit into this big picture of, okay, so there's the client, there's the server, there may be a database storing some information?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, as it turns out,
it turns out Flask is a micro framework for Python based on Werkzeug.
Werkzeug.
Forgive me if we're mispronouncing that. Jinja 2 and Good.